on, don't you like a day that's all about you?
Every day is all about me. This one just comes with cake and a bad song.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Savage Wednesday comebacks.
We've always encouraged Wednesday to speak her mind. Sometimes a sharp tongue can cut deep.
For this list, we'll be looking at this queen of sarcasm's most painful and hilarious clapbacks in Netflix's 2022 series. Since some of these moments involve major plot points, a spoiler warning is now in effect. What was your favorite Wednesday comeback? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. If the buckled shoe fits. Wednesday Addams knows how to make a first impression, and a lasting one at that. While sitting at the weather vane, she's confronted by three normies in pilgrim attire.
It takes a special kind of stupid to devote an entire theme park to zealots responsible for mass genocide.
My dad owns Pilgrim World. Who you calling stupid?
If the buckled shoe fits.
Of course, she's completely unfazed by their attempted intimidation, first verbally laying them out with her unrelenting insults, then doing so literally. And this is just the first of her run-ins with these Jericho jerks. At Pilgrim World, Wednesday teaches them another lesson when they're terrorizing Eugene.
Are you two still here?
I can't get into any more trouble with my dad.
And she also doesn't hold back later when she sees Lucas at the Raven dance with her roomie Enid. It's one thing to mess with her, but when it comes to the people she cares about, you're digging your own grave.
Wednesday? I come in peace?
That's a shame. I brought my pocket mace. The medieval kind.
Number 9. Snapping Thornhill's olive branch. Before we knew about Miss Thornhill's true identity, she seemed like a caring professor/dorm mother just trying to be there for her new student. After Principal Weems puts Wednesday on lockdown, Thornhill gifts her with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
No man chooses evil because it is evil. He only mistakes it for happiness, the good he seeks. Mary Shelley wrote that line to describe people like Weems, who do bad things under the guise of protecting the greater good.
Wednesday's having none of that and questions her motives. She doesn't need anyone trying to comfort or relate to her, especially when she feels wronged.
I think we're a lot alike.
We aren't. I don't need your help or your pity. I already have a mother and a therapist. That's enough torture, even for me.
Thornhill has seen before that Wednesday's not generally receptive to seemingly kind gestures, but being on the receiving end is a whole other story.
Means keep your claws to yourself, and no smothering people in their sleep.
Number 8. Throwing stones. Wednesday hands out sick burns to anyone and everyone, but we'd say Xavier Thorpe gets it pretty bad.
If I am the monster, why haven't I killed you?
Because for some reason I cannot fathom or indulge you seem to like me.
She's not impressed by his smugness and continues to rebuff his attempts at being her friend, or something more. Wednesday doesn't seem to have much desire for either kind of relationship, but Xavier keeps trying anyway, even offering her unsolicited advice.
You're creating a story in your head and using visions to back it up. They're telling you what you want to see.
Are you mansplaining my power?
She takes even less kindly to his intervention in her other relationships, especially when it comes to Tyler Galpin. When Xavier tries to warn her about the normie, she shuts him down real quick.
Because Tyler and his friends are a bunch of jerks. They can't stand the fact that this school is the only thing propping up their podunk town.
Says the boy whose life was served to him on a silver platter.
And when he tries his own hand at a comeback, she doesn't even let him finish, countering with another deep cut. Ouch, indeed.
Girls in glass houses.
Should throw bigger stones. At least I'm not an elitist snob.
Ouch.
Calling pop culture superfans everywhere. Do you love to argue with WatchMojo's top 10 ranks? Introducing WatchMojo's first and very own party game. Bring your superpowers to the table and fight for your pick to be at the top of the list. It's all the fun of the comment section, but in real life.
Number 7. The Killing Type. Nevermore Academy alumni Gomez and Morticia Addams have kept a dark secret buried for decades. But when their inquisitive daughter attends their alma mater, she learns a few things from their past that make her suspicious.
I think it's high time my parents faced the music. It seems they've been lying to me, keeping secrets. Murderous secrets that need to be addressed.
Being the brilliant detective she is, Wednesday uncovers the truth about the death of Garrett Gates, clearing her father of any wrongdoing. And in the subsequent exchange between Wednesday and Gomez, we're reminded how unconventional the Addams family's sense of perception is.
I knew you didn't have what it takes to be a murderer.
As much as that stings, gracias, my little death trap.
Wednesday not believing in her father's ability to kill someone seriously hurts his feelings. He knows better than to show too much emotion in front of her, though.
I know they make you feel uncomfortable.
Number 6. Solving crimes and sharpening hatchets. From the beginning, Sheriff Galpin had a problem with Wednesday Addams, partly due to a decades-long hatred of her father. And it doesn't take long for Wednesday to start her own feud with him.
Guessing the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I'm gonna keep my eye on you.
After witnessing the hide-kill Nevermore student Rowan, she's thrown into a murder mystery and takes it upon herself to lead the investigation. She criticizes Galpin's every decision and non-decision from the get-go, and rightfully so.
I figured since you no longer have an old vendetta to obsess over, you're free to solve some real crime.
Wednesday doesn't care that he's an authority figure. He wasted time trying to find Gomez Addams guilty of a crime he didn't actually commit, and completely lost sight of the case at hand. You could say he deserves every cutting remark or sharpened hatchet thrown his way.
I don't bury hatchets. I sharpen them.
Number 5. A stinger for the queen bee. Remember what we said about Wednesday in First Impressions? Well, here we have another example, this time with a fellow outcast.
Seriously, Coach, when am I gonna get some real competition? Anyone else want to challenge me?
I do.
Nevermore's resident mean girl and apparent fencing champion, Bianca Barclay seems to irritate Wednesday even more than other people, and the feeling quickly becomes mutual. Their combative relationship kicks off with an exchange of barbs.
You must be the psychopath they let in.
And you must be the self-appointed queen bee. Interesting thing about bees. Pull out their stingers and they drop dead.
Without missing a beat, Wednesday knocks Bianca off her pedestal and challenges her to a duel. Wednesday's a skilled fencer, but she's even better when it comes to verbal sparring. This should have been Bianca's warning not to mess with the new girl. Little did she know that she'd be on the receiving end of several of Wednesday Addams' stinging retorts.
I see you finally made a friend. Even if it is a plant.
I go for quality over quantity.
Number 4. Emotional Morse code. Wednesday Addams is notoriously terrible at expressing emotion of any kind, but that doesn't stop her from calling out someone else's inability to be upfront about theirs. She's caught up in a love triangle that she doesn't need to be a part of. And when Tyler is frustrated that Wednesday can't interpret his feelings, she bluntly responds by criticizing his indirectness and unfair expectations.
Call me crazy, Wednesday, but you keep giving me these signals.
It's not my fault I can't interpret your emotional Morse code.
In spite of these crossed wires, Tyler eventually proposes a serious relationship. He gets more harsh truths in response.
I'm not friend material, let alone more than friend material. I will ignore you, stomp on your heart, and always put my needs and interests first.
Hey, Wednesday's self-aware, honest, and possibly emotionally unavailable, but he can't say she didn't warn him.
You're making a mistake.
Probably.
Definitely.
Number 3. The Amateur Society. Upon discovering the secret library at Nevermore, Wednesday is captured by the Nightshade Society. If they expected her to be even remotely scared, they were sorely mistaken.
And just like that, my hopes were dashed against the rocks of bitter disappointment. My foe was no psychotic killer, more like a bunch of high school clowns.
She's a pro at one-on-one verbal brawls, but here she manages to roast a whole group at once. She immediately clocks the true identities of the masked figures and hilariously mocks them when they start rattling off their allegedly elite activities.
We have roof parties, campouts, the occasional midnight skinny dip.
And Yoko's an amateur mixologist.
She makes a killer virgin mojito. Can get pretty wild.
Wow, do you guys even have a bedtime?
They debate whether or not she's worthy of joining, but she rejects them before they even offer, revealing she's been free of their ineffective restraints for some time. She's genuinely insulted by their incompetence and gets in one last dig before exiting.
It's amateurs like you who give kidnapping a bad name.
If anything, Wednesday should be running the Nightshades. Number 2. Savage until the end. Wednesday goes through it in the Season 1 finale.
Slow down! What happened?
She's notably arrested by Sheriff Galpin, expelled by Principal Weems, knocked out and taken by Ms. Thornhill / Laurel Gates, and stabbed by a zombie Joseph Crackstone. To say she's in no mood at this point is an understatement. Her ancestor, Goody, appears to her in what she thinks are her final moments and instructs her once more to kill Crackstone. But even at death's door, Wednesday has time for a snarky one-liner.
It's the only way he will be vanquished now and forever.
Is your spectral vision impaired? I'm dying.
Goody quickly explains that she's able to heal Wednesday, and thankfully our protagonist lives to fight another day. What can we say? No one's safe from her sharp words. Not even a ghostly family member coming to, save her life.
Laurel said you were dead.
I'm feeling much better now.
You're like a cockroach.
Please, flattery will get you nowhere.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Troublemaker. Wednesday causes trouble for the greater good.
If trouble means standing up to lies, decades of discrimination, centuries of treating outcasts like second-class citizens, or worse.
Not a little girl. Never underestimate the strength of a young woman, especially one with a disembodied hand.
Who are you talking to, little girl?
Use the words little and girl to address me again, and I can't guarantee your safety.
Nevermore's newcomer. Wednesday doesn't deny outrageous rumors, she makes them better.
I actually fillet the bodies of my victims, then feed them to my menagerie of pets.
Weems gets schooled. This is likely the moment Principal Weems realized the sardonic teen would be a major pain.
Perhaps afterwards we can visit the weather vane for hot chocolate.
Principal Weems, this feeble attempt at bonding is beneath you. And chauffeuring your students around is clearly below your pay grade.
The better weapon. Laurel should know she's no match for Wednesday, even if she's armed.
You brought a gun to a sword fight. It's probably the first smart decision you've made today.
Number 1. Better than you.
I want to humiliate Bianca so badly that the bitter taste of defeat burns in her throat.
With someone as ruthless as Wednesday Addams, choosing a top savage moment is tough. But this quick and biting exchange really had us cheering, laughing, and taking notes. Before she annihilates Bianca's team in the Poke-Up race, Wednesday responds to her weak insult with an instantly iconic comeback, referencing something the Siren had told Xavier earlier.
For the record, I don't believe I'm better than everyone else. Just that I'm better than you.
Between that and wondering how she could have heard the private conversation, Bianca must have been shook. Wednesday's unwavering confidence really hits hard, putting her foe in her place. And to follow it up with sabotage and a victory, Wednesday Addams is an absolute savage.
Admit it, you kind of got into the whole school spirit thing.
You didn't tell me it was a dark, vengeful spirit.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.